سحورا انظر كيف ضربوا لك الأمثال فضلوا فلا يستطيعون سبيلا تبارك الذي إن شاء جعل لك خيرا من ذلك جنات تجري من تحتها الأنهار ويجعل لك قصورا بل كذبوا بالساعة وأعتدنا لمن كذب بالساعة سعيرا إذا رأتهم من مكان بعيد سمعوا لها تغيظا وزفيرا وإذا ألقوا منها مكانا ضيقا مقرنين دعوا هنالك ثبورا لا تدعوا اليوم ثبورا واحدا ودعوا ثبورا كثيرا ولذلك خير أم جنة الخلد التي وعد المتقون كانت لهم جزاء ومصيرا لهم فيها ما يشاءون خالدين كان على ربك وعدا مسؤولا صدق الله العظيم.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين والعاقبة للمتقين ولا عدوان إلا على الظالمين وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم عبد الله ورسوله ما بعد. We thank the Almighty Allah for blessing us with another day. We thank Him for His mercies that He's bestowed upon us. We bear witness that there is no deity worthy of worship except the Almighty Allah. We also bear witness that the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is His servant and His messenger. Whosoever the Almighty Allah guides is really guided, and whosoever goes astray does not have anybody to blame but themselves. Alhamdulillah, today is a Saturday which corresponds with the 21st day of Shawwal, 1441 years after the hijrah of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, which also corresponds with the 13th day of June 2020. We are discussing the Muslim marriage and divorce bill, alhamdulillah. And as I said, and I always say, it's a very good bill for us Muslims. We need to give good attention to it, but there's a need for stakeholder meetings and see how best we can fine tune it to suit Islam and Muslims, inshallah. So that's just what we are trying to do. We are not trying to rubbish the bill or have problems with the bill. Far from it. We're also giving our inputs to the bill and see how best it can be fashioned in a way that it will suit Islam and then suit Muslims, especially looking at our context as Muslims in Ghana. It's very, very important. Islamic law gives us that opportunity to be able to look at things within our backgrounds, our contexts. Today we're going to look at dissolution of Muslim marriage. The bill talks about divorce, but there are some aspects of divorce in the bill that has been omitted, and it's a very serious part. There is a section in there that has been omitted, and I think there's a need for people to have a look at it. If you look at the clauses in there, it says either party may, after exhausting settlements efforts at a family arbitration, apply to a licensed imam attached to a licensed place of marriage for the dissolution of a Muslim marriage. So either party, whether male or female, can apply for divorce. No problem. The licensed imam shall forward the divorce application to the unit of the licensed place of marriage, which shall consider the reasons for the application. So the imam whose attention is being drawn to divorce will forward the divorce application to the unit of the licensed place. So if I understand it very well, what it means is that after trying to settle between me and my wife, and issues are not being able to be settled between us, we can take it to our family, immediate family, for a settlement. If that doesn't happen, we'll forward it to the imam of the community or the licensed imam, and he will forward the application to the units, the counseling units or the family arbitration center that we talked about. The unit shall consider the divorce application. They will consider the divorce application, whether it is in line or not. That's what the law is saying. But Islamically, it doesn't happen that way. It is not in every instance that the imam or the community will determine whether this divorce makes sense or it doesn't make sense. No. Because there are serious issues that when they happen in marriages, nobody has any right to say, we think you must stay together or leave. No. So this issue, whether the unit shall consider the divorce application, it is not their job to consider a divorce. They don't have any discretion here in a marriage. If a woman says she's no longer interested in the marriage, there is no unit who has any right anywhere to consider the application. No. Islam doesn't know this. It is alien to us. Furthermore, it says a Muslim man who decides to divorce his wife by talaq shall notify the imam of the nearest licensed place of marriage of the intention and the reasons for the decision. This is also alien to Islam. Islam doesn't know this because the man already has talaq. No problem, Sheikh Yusuf. I'll send you the bill later, inshallah. The man already has talaq. He doesn't have anything else. So he can't decide to divorce his wife by talaq. No, it is not his decision. This is what Islam has given to him. If he decides to use something else, then that's not Islam. So this clause here is trying to open up Islam for foreign material in this session. The man has talaq, and that's it. Shall notify the imam of the nearest licensed place of marriage of the intention and the reasons for the decision. Sometimes the reasons are not sayable. Sometimes the reasons for talaq are not sayable. He can't say the reason why he wants to divorce her, because in Islam, keeping of secrets between spouses is very, very important. A man might see something wrong with his wife that he cannot stay with her. And then he thinks that because of that reason, he can't stay with her. So he's seeking to divorce her. The community has no business trying to know why he wants to divorce her. No, the community doesn't have anything to do with that, because sometimes some of the reasons cannot be said. One of the Salaf, I've forgotten his name, when he divorced his wife, she was in her waiting period. The community asked him, "Oh, Sheikh, why are you divorcing her?" He said, "That is my family problem. That's my business. You people don't have any rights to know what she's done wrong to me. That's why I'm divorcing her. That's a secret between me and her. I can't live with her with that. So that's a secret between us." After the dissolution of the marriage, they went back to him and he said, "Okay, now Sheikh, since she's no longer your wife, tell us what happened." And then he told them, "She is someone's daughter. She is someone else's, in someone else's care. Why should I divulge someone's secrets? So within the Islamic legal framework, a woman can seek for divorce, which is a major part here. It is not stated. What is stated here is for the man. And in Islam, the woman also has a window where she can also seek for divorce. So that is why my topic for today is omission of a major part in divorce. The dissolution of the Muslim marriage, that is the section 19, makes it clear that it is only the man. Even though the first one, that is 19:1, says either party, whether the male or the female. But then it didn't mention that of the woman. So in Islam, we have 3 forms of dissolution of marriage. The first one is the talaq, which is in the hands of the man. He exercises that. The woman also has khulu. They all have the same intention, but they have different procedures. The third one lies in the hands of the judge, which is sometimes the judge will interfere in the marriage and dissolve the marriage. So in Islam, I want our sisters to understand one thing. Sometimes we see women on social media make a lot of noise concerning their rights in Islam. But what pains me is that some of our sisters don't study their religion. So they want to seek some rights that they feel they are being denied in Islam when it is already in Islam. In Islam, divorce is always not in the hands of the man. He has his. And then you also have khulu. You also have the opportunity to say, I'm no longer interested in the marriage, I want to opt out. So a man cannot say, but I will leave you, I want to divorce you. No, he can't say that. He can choose not to exercise whatever powers Islam has given to him. But then he can't stop you from exercising your powers. And the community judge in Islam also has powers of interference in a marriage. Whereby, for example, if one of the parties, and most especially the women, are ignorant of their rights in Islam, the judge can step in and then dissolve the marriage. So sometimes you find men who are very wicked. He doesn't love the woman. He doesn't want to divorce her so that someone else will marry her. So فَيَذَرُهَا كَالْمُعَلَّقَةِ, he leaves her in a room as if she is a hanged, something hanged. He doesn't love her, he doesn't hate her. He leaves her in a room just like that. He doesn't take care of her. He's abusing her. And then sometimes we tell the woman, oh, Kia and Kuri, be very patient. You know, marriage is like that. And then she's in an abusive marriage. Yes, what we are saying here is that the woman can seek for her divorce. It's important. The woman can seek for khulu. We all know of the hadith of the wife of Thabit ibn Qais. The wife of Thabit ibn Qais came to the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and she said, Ya Rasulullah, you see my husband, I don't have anything against him. He's very good in the deen. He's very nice. He's very polite. He takes good care of me and everything. But I feel that if I stay with him, there's going to still be problems. I'm not comfortable. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, okay, fine. Will you return to him the garden he gave to you as your dowry? She said, yes. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam called him and he told him, this is what your wife has said, and then she's going to return back the garden you gave her as dowry, and then you divorce her. So in Islam, there is that. And excuse me, some of you guys might not be happy today with some of the things I'm going to say concerning some of the ways we men behave in marriage. It's very painful, it's very pathetic. Because our women are humble, yes, thank you, Muhsin Islam. Thank you. Because our women are humble, they are obedient, we want to take advantage of that and then molest them. And then in the end, we want to to tell people that no, yes, marriage is about patience, but not in an abusive marriage. If the abuse in the marriage will lead to her death, no. But then also, it is not just for any reason that people should jump and say, let's divorce, let's leave the marriage. No. It's hankuri, it's patience. Yes, it's true. You can't just get up and say, I'm leaving the marriage. No. Islam doesn't allow that. When I say that the community has no business trying to know the reason why you're leaving marriage, it doesn't mean that you just leave the marriage without any reason. No. You don't leave the marriage without any reason. You must have concrete reasons for leaving the marriage. So in Islam, the Almighty Allah tells us that وَعَاشُوهُنَّ بِالْمَعْرُوفِ. The men live with the women with integrity. Live with them in peace and love. When you wanted to marry her, you went to all kinds of lengths. You went to all kinds of schools trying to find sweet words to persuade her to marry you. You brought heaven onto earth. You brought her angels. You sweet talked her. You pillow talked her into accepting to marry you. So after she has married you, if 1 or 2 or 3 reasons are out there that you want to divorce her on, you should also bring heaven down to her before you divorce her. Some of us are living in dead marriages. The marriage is already dead. But then the sisters are enduring. Some brothers are also enduring. Some of us are living in non-existent marriages because some of the things that we've said to each other in the marriage is tantamount to divorce. Some men have divorced their wives 2,000 times, but they are still there with them. Because some of us don't really understand what marriage is in Islam and what are the rulings pertaining to Islam. The Prophet Muhammad said there are 3 things that you don't joke with. 3 things you don't joke with. They are serious issues. Marriage, divorce, and then returning a divorced woman back to her home. Returning her back to your home. These 3 things, you don't joke with them. They are serious issues. So Islam realizes that. So Islam puts in place these laws, these, guidelines to guide us in our marriages. Especially when it comes to divorce. Because the same way marriage brings communities together, divorce has the tendency to break up communities. And it is a necessary evil. Islam recognizes divorce. The last 2 videos that we had, some people asked whether divorce is allowed. Sheikh, did I hear you say you pillow talk her? Yes, I said so. When we want to marry women, we tell them all kinds of sweet things for them to marry us. When they come into the home, our faces change. It is not acceptable at all in Islam that you sweet talk a woman, she comes into your marriage and your home, and then you turn into something else. You turn into a liar, you turn into a vampire in the home. Someone doesn't talk with his wife. He doesn't have, sweet chats with his wife. Someone, when he comes home, his face is zoom, as if clouds have gathered for rainfall. It is not acceptable in Islam. So a lot of women are living in abusive marriages. When we talk of abuse here, it's not only about them being punched in the face. A lot of women are living with monsters in their home. We meet them outside and we think they are human beings. But then these husbands in the home, they are monsters. Okay, pillow talking is done after you get married, Sheikh. Or maybe I'm confused. Maybe I just used I borrowed the pillow talking. Thank you very much, Brother Salim. Barakallah fiqh. A lot of women are living in nightmares. The man is sweet and nice with everybody outside. He meets you, alaikum salam, how are you? Fine. How is sister so? She's doing great, and the kids. But then when he comes home, he's a lion. His salamu alaikum alone sends every everybody to their wrong positions in the room. People's hearts skip a bit when he is coming home because he's the lion. During the time of Umar bin Khattab, a guy who was going to be given an appointment came to Umar bin Khattab, and then he found grandchildren, running around Umar, playing with him. Umar was playing with his grandchildren. The guy said, "Hey, Umar, isn't you the one that the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ said, when shaitan meets you, he changes his way, his route?" He said, "Yes." He said, "How come children run around you like that? Hey, you who shaitan fears you, and see this, the way these children are, tearing you apart." Umar asked him, "Okay, how do you live?" He said, "Me, my home, the moment I come in, the one who is standing sits down. The one who is sitting lies down. The one who is lying down sleeps by force. The one in open space hides. The one in hiding, he dies." Umar said, "If you are not merciful to your family, how can you be merciful to the ummah of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam? You are no longer going to be appointed." So Islam, the Almighty Allah knew, and He knows these kinds of situation and conditions. So in our religion, divorce is allowed, even though it is discouraged. But if there is a need for it, then the man and the woman can go their separate ways. The woman can seek for divorce, same way the man can apply that. So in this bill, the section of the woman's rights to seek for divorce has not been stated. So we are asking them to look at it very well. It is called al-khulu. Khulu means to take something off. So the woman can take off, the contract of marriage off her neck. It is accepted. The same way the man can also take off that contract of marriage off her neck, she can also take it off her neck. So it's not only for the man to decide. So he can say, "I won't ever divorce you." That's for him. But she can also seek for divorce. She can do that. So we are asking the drafters of the bill to look at it again. That section 19, dissolution of the Muslim marriage, they've only stated what the man can do. They've not stated what the woman can also do within the divorce and what it entails and what it pertains. So Islam, knowing how we are, how human beings we are, and our tendencies and our psychological makeups, it's the Almighty Allah structured this for us. Sometimes people call you to seek advice or counseling on their marriages, and then we realize that those marriages are non-existent. Those marriages are dead marriages, but people are still living in them. Sometimes the office of Ahlus Sunnah wal Jama'ah in Ghana is being criticized that we kill marriages or we destroy marriages. Most often than not, if you look at the reports, the marriages are dead before they even arrived. They are dead before arrival. Because some of the words some men use in marriages are killing words. Some people have divorced their wives 4,000 times. They've divorced them. And they're still living with them. That's the problem we are facing. It's not about Bakomi Benu, it's about what Islam says. So if a woman is living in an abusive marriage, the husband beats her, he doesn't take care of her and stuff like that, then she has the opportunity to leave. Some few weeks ago, my elder brother and Sheikh Abdul Razak made a very good point. And even though some people didn't understand that, or they took him out of context, is that he said if a woman is living with her husband and the husband beats her, the children come and see her, she's crying, she shouldn't divulge the secret to her children. I agree with him on that. You don't have to involve your children in your marital problems. But what I also say is that she should leave that marriage. She shouldn't end up being killed or maimed. She can leave the marriage without divulging the secrets of what happened between her husband and herself to her children. No, she can do that. But I won't encourage any sister to remain in any abusive marriage at all, where he will beat you, he will press your face with iron, turn you into a punching bag. Sometimes our sisters will have to wear big sunglasses, not because it is fashion, but they are hiding the bruises on their faces so that people will not know that they are living with abusive husbands. They are protecting you. They are covering your legacy. Some women stay with monsters. Some women stay with vampires. People who literally suck their blood. So brothers, if you are living with a woman and then the only thing you know how to do is abuse her, beat her, call her names, and then you expect her to be patient, the only thing you know how to do is read hadith to her. Hey, you know that Islam, marriage is about patience. The only time you are nice with your wife is when you want to have something to do with her on the bed. That is the only time you become a good boy. That's the only time you know how to sweet talk. The Prophet Muhammad ﷺ said, he is amazed and surprised at a man who will beat his wife during the day like his slave or an animal. And then in the night, he comes like, Masami Nkwanta, oh, please just push aside. Let me sleep next. How are you feeling? Oh, let me hug you. You use the same hands to beat her in the day. And then you want to use the same hands to hug her at night. Well, I mean, I don't get it. It's beyond my understanding. It's beyond my understanding. So men, let's fear the Almighty Allah in the way we deal with our wives. If she's no longer fine to you, she's no longer palatable to you, the Almighty Allah says, فَإِن كَرِهْتُمُوهُنَّ, if you dislike something about her, or you dislike her herself totally, you've married her, she was beautiful, she was nice, she was 18, 19, 20, young, you know, beautiful, nice, seductive, attractive. You were mad, you were going all haywire. When you were walking on the streets, even you are calling her name. When you go to work, you are always anxious of coming home. Someone said, you are doing God. You are doing God. You want to come home. You are happy. Oh, beautiful girl. After 10 years, she's 33. She's developed a big belly. She's developed stretch marks over her body because of giving birth. She's no longer seductive. And then you, because you already married her because of sex, now that she's no longer sexually appealing and attractive, you want to leave her. This is what is happening in our communities. You've seen a younger one, you want to go and marry because you have a dogo makoshi. You've seen a younger one, you want to get married. So this wife of yours, you create all forms of problem in the house. You create all forms of tashi hankali in the house because you want her herself to be fed up and then leave the marriage. You don't come home early. You leave her because now there is DSTV, there is Africa TV3, there is Sunna TV. When she complains, ako Sunna TV, Kim do Mamal and Jafar, Kim do Mamal and Kabir Gombe, ako Africa TV3, oh, there is Ikra channel, there is this. You've given her television. You leave home 4 a.m., you come home 12 a.m. You only spend 4 hours in the house. You are well to do, you don't give her money, you don't take care of her. She should go out and go and fend for herself. You say, no, Allah barak bangeda. How can me, someone like me, my wife should go out and go and work? How? But then you don't do your duties in the house as a husband. You get all kinds of money to spend and chew. When you're outside, you eat everything. You buy pizza, you buy nama, you eat everything, and then you leave 2 Ghana CD or 10 Ghana CD in the house for your wife to cook for you. And then after roaming about, you come home, you wash 10 and then put in 5. And then when you eat, you tell her, I've been to my bag gishri, I've been to my bag daddy, I've been to my bag nama. There's no meat in the soup. Oh, the food is not even spicy. You give a woman 2 Ghana CD or 5 Ghana CD in this time for her to cook a whole meal for you. Hey, why? What is wrong with you? Are you a killer? Are you a killer? Are you a vampire? This woman has given birth to 3 children with you. 3. No school fees, no feeding, no clothing, nothing. You don't do anything. When you go out to people, see you as a very responsible man. When they ask for fisabilillah in the masallachi, you give 10 Ghana CD. Oh, fisayakamata mutemaka din. You give 10 Ghana CD. When someone comes and then he says, Wallahi, Alaji Muna Neman Temoko, what do you need? Oh, I'm looking for so and so. Oh, this is 50 Ghana CD. You can manage with it. But then in your house, they don't see sunshine. They don't see rainfall. Someone, the clothes that he bought for his wife because of marriage for 25 years is the same thing. And that's make his any go my carry. That's it. Nothing. Salah will come, he wouldn't buy anything. She will give birth, he wouldn't buy anything. Hey, he doesn't do anything. And you expect the sisters to say in this marriage, and you want us to encourage them to say in this marriage. If your wife brings this kind of complaint to me, I'll kill your marriage. A lot of good women are living with irresponsible men. A lot of good women are living with irresponsible men. And we need to work on this as a community. Sometimes I go to the office of Al-Sunnah al-Jama'ah just to listen to some of the arbitration that is being made. Some time ago, I went, and then this young woman has brought the case of her husband who has turned her into a punching bag. Young, very beautiful woman, well educated. He has turned her into a punching bag. I looked at him, and then I was boiling. How will you turn this young, educated, beautiful woman into a punching bag? I said, this guy, if I catch him one-on-one in Lungu, in the corner, I will look for a baseball bat. I will pray first, beat him and kill him. Why will you do that to a woman? What is wrong with us as a community? That the very women we talk sweet to, we talk nice to. Halal marriage in Islam, I've not heard of the term before. Maybe if you can write it in Arabic, I will understand better. Is there something like halal marriage? I don't know. If you write in Arabic, I'll be able to understand. What are we doing? Why are we doing this? In this very moment, some women are living with husbands who are pseudo husbands. They are just staying in there. That's all. That's what she's doing. She's just staying in there. And then if he wants to now divorce her, now he becomes a champion. Bonsonki. They give them babanki. He insult her father, insult her lineage, insult everybody, beat her, throw her things outside to show that he's a man. Hey, Nini, so if your house you have anybody who can stand him, let the person come. Hey. We've turned marriage into something so pathetic that just any Tom, Dick, and Harry can just beat any woman and then destroy her life. So because of some of these instances, a woman can ask for divorce in Islam. She lives in abusive marriage, yes, she can invoke the powers of khulu within the Islamic Sharia. Or the judge can interfere in the marriage. Sometimes, even if the man and the woman are together, and the woman wants to stay in the abusive marriage, the judge can invoke faskhun nikah. The judge can dissolve the marriage by force. Because some people, although you love, kill me, die, he's beating her every day, he's abusing her, he's even using knives to cut her. It's a love day, one thing, she wants to stay there and die. No. The community will not look on and say, so no, Islam doesn't allow that. Islam will enter in and then dissolve the marriage. So there's faskhun nikah. So 3 forms of marriage dissolution in Islam. The husband has talaq, the woman has khulu, and then the judge has faskhun nikah. Even though some of the Jews say the khulu is also a power of the judge. He can also use that. Some say no, the judge has his own. The woman can also initiate khulu. The man initiates talaq. The woman initiates khulu. And then the community has faskhun nikah. If a woman is living in an abusive marriage, she is scared. She can't, invoke khulu because of 1 or 2 reasons. Then the neighbors can invoke faskhun nikah with the judge. The judge comes in and then he dissolves the marriage. He forces the woman back to her husband, to her father's home. The man cannot do anything about that. If there is ample reason and evidence to point to the fact that the woman is living in an abusive marriage, and then she cannot invoke khulu because of 1 or 2 reasons, because she doesn't know, or because she's afraid, or because she's going to be stigmatized, or because, the community invokes the power of the judge to look into that marriage and then dissolve the marriage. If a man says he's no longer interested in his wife, when he says he's no longer interested in his wife, what are the steps to take? The verse of Surah An-Nisa is very, very clear. In the end, she must be in a waiting period, which is very, very important. Iddah, yes. Part of the draft bill talks about it. Okay, I guess it has something to do. Okay. Yes, I now understand what you're saying. Salim. What it means is that the question that was asked concerning Zawad al-Hil. I'll come to that. Let me build a case and then I'll answer your question. If a man, after doing whatever he can to convince his wife, or he is no longer interested in her for specific reasons, for whatever reasons he has, and then he pronounces divorce upon her, okay, what it means is that she must enter a waiting period. The waiting period depends on the woman. If the woman is a menstruating woman, she must have 3 menstrual cycles. And then he can't pronounce divorce upon her when he has already touched her. What we mean is this. For example, in this month, if she had menstruated and then bathed, and then he touches her, he has sexual relations with her, he cannot pronounce divorce upon her until she has another menstrual cycle. She bathed, and then now he pronounces what? Divorce upon her. It's very important. So you cannot sleep with your wife, have sexual intercourse with your wife last night, and then you get up this morning. Wallahi ni wanakinga bineki came in na ni bangani bo. Me I not understand. Oh, it's an Arabu deki. It is null and void. It is zero. You wait until she has her next menstrual cycle. She has her menses. She baths. You don't touch her. And then you tell her to, one che, you are in your idda. So if she does that one and then you say she's in her idda, then you have to wait for her to have another menstrual cycle. Another menstrual cycle. After the third one, then she's no longer your wife. That is a 3 waiting period for a woman who is what? Who is menstruating. It's very important we understand that you cannot just get up and say you are divorced and then you are in your waiting period. No, it doesn't happen like that. If it is a woman who is not menstruating, then it is 3 months. If it is a pregnant woman, for example, your wife is pregnant, and then you tell her, I'm divorcing you. You wait till she gives birth. That is her waiting period. And within the waiting period, you take care of her like a wife. The only thing is, you don't get close to what is between her navel and her thighs. You don't go there. Heaven is forbidden for you. In those waiting periods, you don't go there. You feed her, you clothe her, you do whatever is necessary to be done. But then, conjugal activities between you and her, bye-bye, you've cancelled it. So if you can live with her for 3 menstrual cycles without going next to her, then it really means that you really want to divorce her. So the waiting period, Almighty Allah has instituted it in there as a period for us to rethink and reevaluate what we are doing in the marriage. But then, boom, 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 beats her, throw her things outside, insult her father and her grandfather and her great-great-grandfather, insult her whole community, beat her anyhow you want because he's boss, he's chairman. So if within the waiting period, you change your mind, maybe one day after she has finished her menses, you didn't touch her, you pronounce divorce upon her, you take good care of her. One day you go to town, you see all kinds of women, and then you come back home and then your mind started doing you coin. Hey, come here. And then your mind changes and then you get close to her. That's it. Salamu qawlan min Rabbir Rahim. Everything is squashed. But then if you continue with her up to her 3rd menstrual cycle, that is it. The marriage is over. Even though in Islam, talaq is 3 or 2. Sorry, at-talaq marratan. Talaq is twice. So what it means is that after she has gone through the first 3 menstrual cycles and then the marriage has been dissolved between you and her, you return her back to her parents peacefully and nicely, and even Islam suggests that with a gift. Even though it's not compulsory, you return her back to her people. Because Islam knows, the Almighty Allah knows that after you've divorced her, one day you might sit down and think and say, hey, you remember she has some special jollof rice that she does for you, or she has some special, dress, sexy lingerie that she wears, and then you remember her. Because if you live with someone, there is definitely one way or the other, you remember the person has some good things. So Islam said, after you've divorced the woman, the first divorce, that is not the end. That is not the end. What can happen is that you might sit down and then regret. Maybe within the 3 menstrual cycles that she stayed with you, you didn't see the need to return her because what she did to you was so enormous or something like that. You were not okay, so you are telling her you no longer want her. She went through all the 3 menstrual cycles. You send her back to her house 1 month or 2 months. When you're coming home, you open your own door. You go and buy dokunu on the streets, or you buy indomie yourself, and then you eat. And then you realize that, hey, this woman was really my life. You regret. You really now understood her value in your home. You really understood that, yes, she's really a part and parcel of you after she has gone to her father. And then what do? You go and see your people. Wallahi, Baba, no mistake. Don't bring Shaitan yet. Shaitan didn't do anything. You are the one who divorced her. Shaitan didn't divorce her. So don't lie to Shaitan. That's what some of our men do. He beats the woman, and then when they talk, Wallahi, man, Shaitan never did. Have you seen Shaitan before? Why are we always blaming Shaitan? That is why on the Akhirah, he will run away from people. So you tell your father, Wallahi, daddy, or your guardian, or your uncle, or any big person in the community, like, these 2 weeks has not been easy without my wife. Like, it's not been easy. I've realized that I really love her and I need her. The thing that she's done wrong to me, as compared to the kind of good things she has been doing to me, is not comparable at all. It's negligible. I didn't realize that. I was living with her, not knowing her worth and her value. Now that she's no longer with me, please, Atemekeni akami matana. Atemekeni akami matana. So the elders will look into the case, and then we'll go to her house, and then we'll go and beg her. Yeah, you have to beg her, definitely. Beg her to kinsanya. Shiriki yankuri, mijinkide yagani kuskurinshi. So please, do well and then return. So after negotiations, and then she comes back, no problem. But then know that one rope of the contract has been untied. So you go through that again the second time, and then you divorce her. She goes back to her house, and then you sit down and say, it's not easy. I've realized my mistake. We go and then we negotiate, and then we bring her back. The moment we bring her back the second time, if you don't know, and then you divorce her again the third time, that is it. When you divorce her the third time, she goes through her menstrual cycle, and then she goes back to her house. Now, if you come to us and say, okay, wallahi, we must bring her back. What Islam says is that the woman that you've divorced 3 times, she must go and get married to another man. So, Salim, in answering your question, she must go and get married to another man. Genuine marriage. Genuine marriage. And that man will have sexual relations with her. And then that man will genuinely divorce her before you can go back and get married to her. Let me repeat this. The question Salim asked concerning halal marriage or hil marriage, what it means is that if a man divorces his wife, first divorce, second divorce, after the third divorce, she cannot return to him directly. No. Islam says, as to pull his ears, to let him understand the value of the woman, she must get married to another man. Genuine marriage. She is staying in her house, and then another man sees her. He's interested in her genuinely. He marries her, and then staying with him, they get divorced before you, the first husband, can come in and say you want to marry her again. So what Islam is against is that after you've divorced your wife, 3 divorces, and then you go and see your friend, like, and I say, I've divorced my wife 3 times. And now Islam says, after the 3rd divorce, she cannot return to my house straightforward. So what we are going to do is, Islam says she must marry another man, and then that man will divorce her, and then after the divorce, I can marry her. I'll tell you yes. So what do you want? Let me give you some money so that you go and marry my wife. When you marry her, you divorce her so that I can come back and marry her. This thing is haram. This thing is haram. And the woman herself she's not also going to give herself to another man. You say, marry me so that you divorce me so that I can go back to my husband. No, marriage and divorce in Islam is not dangleshi, totals that you play anyhow you want. It's a very sacred and serious issue. So Salim, that marriage is haram. It is not a marriage. It is fornication. It is adultery. They said when we were in university in Niger, a brother always gave us a joke which was very funny. He said an imam divorced his wife 3 times, 3 divorces. And to chip in, can a man tell his wife, I've divorced you once, I've divorced you twice, I've divorced you 3 times, go to your house? The way some men say, go mashabir. Is it acceptable? This is bid'ah divorce. What we do is we take 1 out of the 15 and give you the 14 to put into your pocket. We only have 1 at one time, another 1 at another time, another 1 at another time. So this imam divorced his wife 3 different times. And he wanted the woman back. But he himself, he knows that no way. He can't get her back unless she gets married to another man. So he went and he met the Ladan. He said, Ladan, you see, I just want to give you some money so that you go and marry my wife. When you marry her, after some time, you divorce her. Okay, so that I can get back and marry her. So the maximum you can stay with her is 6 months. But don't do anything to her. Don't do anything. Don't touch her. The Ladan respected the imam. He didn't know the law. So he went and then he sought the hand of the wife of Imam for marriage. The wife of the Imam too, she knew that the Imam has divorced her 3 times. There's no way she's going to go back to the Imam unless another man marries her. So she also wants to get married. So the Ladan was also okay. So she felt that it was a genuine marriage. So after the marriage, she realized that this is her last chance. If the Ladan also divorced her, who is going to marry her? Nobody. So she became a good woman, extra good with the Ladan. 1 month passed, the Ladan's appearance changed. Good woman, good food, good atmosphere in the home. She was very loving, she was very kind, she was very okay with him. 1 month passed, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, 6 months. The Imam called the Ladan, hey Ladan, now I can see that these days you are becoming very, very handsome and beautiful and nice. What's your secret? He said, I have a wife. The Imam said, which wife? My wife. The Ladan said, hey Imam, be very careful. We don't joke with these things. How can you call my wife your wife? Please, Imam, I respect you. The Ladan has enjoyed the company of the woman. So he's no longer willing to let her go. After some time, it was time for prayer, and then the Ladan said, Safu, 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 Agara, Safu, Agara, Safu, Agara, Safu. The Imam said, Kamamuna Baki, one Safu Yebata, Bakuno Kukebata, Safu, Safu number. The Imam said, they keep quiet, Ladan. Which of the rows is not straighting? Aren't you the ones who are always destroying and then destabilizing the rows? So when Islam talks about this form of marriage, it is not a marriage. It is not accepted at all for you to divorce your wife 3 times and then you go and see a man, agree with him on contracts to marry a woman and then leave her and then you can go back and get married to her. That is why pronunciation of divorce in Islam is not something easy. You need to rethink and rethink and rethink. That is why Islam has stipulated, the waiting period, because it is a time that will get you to reflect, because maybe you're overcome by adrenaline and then you talk whatever you want to talk about your wife and then you divorced her. So basically, we want to charge our brothers. Wallahi, take good care of your women. The women, wallahi, let's take good care of our wives. is very, very important. It's not all the time that she's going to be pleasing and attractive to you. It's not all the time that she's going to be nice and good with you. She's a human being as you are. Same way you have mood swings, she also has mood swings. And I understand. I thought halal marriage or contract marriage is permissible. I'm not reading. It's a Shia. Oh yes, Zawaj al-Muta, contract marriage is not accepted in Islam because Islam doesn't accept, a stipulated time for marriage where you say, I'm getting married to you for 6 months. Islam doesn't accept that at all. Islam doesn't know that. You don't get married for 6 months or get married for 1 year. No. Yes, in the early days of Islam, it was applicable, and then it was even only applicable on journeys. The Prophet ﷺ never allowed mut'ah in Medina. He only allowed it for people who were traveling. But then he later came and then he dissolved it. And then the verse that people say in Surah An-Nisa, فَمَسْتَمْتَعْتُمْ بِهِ مِنْهُنَّ فَأَتُوهُنَّ أُجُورَهُنَّ. It's a misunderstanding of the verse. Because you cannot pick a verse within a verse, pick a clause or a phrase in the verse and then you want to use it as evidence. No, you need to read a whole verse to understand what comes before it, what comes after it, before you can, pinpoint straight for it. So the contract marriage is something that Shia do. They still do it, but we Ahlul Sunnah wal Jama'ah, we don't know that contract marriage. It is not accepted. They will also tell you that Ibn Abbas allowed muta. Yes, he allowed muta because he didn't get the hadith that disallowed muta, and then he himself later retracted his decision on muta and then he disallowed muta. So to wrap up, it's very important we understand the value of our marriages. We are all human beings, both the males and the females. We are human beings. We will commit errors. Same way you see a woman outside and then she raises your appetite, is the same way your wife also sees other men outside and then they raise her appetite. It is like that. Understand it. Same way you want your wife to be sexy and nice looking, same way she also wants you to be, okay and nice looking. It's like that. So the moment you come to get to a point whereby you disagree with your wife on one thing or the other, it doesn't mean the end of the world. It doesn't mean booting things and destroying things and throwing things outside. No. She is a queen. She is an egg in your hands that you must take care of. You definitely disagree. You definitely have exchange of words with each other. It happens. You are not an angel, neither she is she. You are not Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam, neither is she Khadija. So understand these things and always work upon improving your marriage. If the next door neighbor's lawn is green, it doesn't mean that yours cannot also be green. You can also, invest in your marriage and make it beautiful and nice. Solutions in marital problems is not throwing the bags outside the window. It's closing the doors and sitting in and then find solutions for those problems. So when Islam talks about divorce and making divorce, applicable or allowed, it didn't make it wholesale and open for public. You just get up and then you want to divorce your wife, you want to divorce your husband, you want to throw things out of the window. No. It is a carefully calculated institution on its own. And then sometimes we, the men, we make some pronunciations in marriages that break the marriage totally. For example, a man will say to his wife, if I have sexual relations with you, it's as if I've had sexual relations with my mother. This is called zihar. There is li'an. There is ilah. A man will tell his wife, I won't sleep with you for 3 months. Why? Why would you make such a statement? All in the name of punishing her, because he knows she's an nymphomaniac, she loves to have sex, and then he wants to punish her, and then because he knows she fears Allah, she needs to go and do it outside, he will make this mugu statement. Maybe because he already has another wife, or already he is cheating outside. So he will tell his wife that me, I won't have anything to do with you. He won't divorce her, he won't let her be a married woman, and then he will just jeopardize her life. Zihar, li'an, ila. People are living, as I said, some of us are living in non-existent marriages. Because if you say that your wife, if you sleep with your wife, it's as if you slept with your mother, you cannot go back and sleep with her again unless you go through some procedures. So you cannot just make that statement and then think it's a free statement because you want to abuse your wife psychologically. You make some statements that have killed the marriage. So it's very, very important. I believe this bill, as I said, is an opportunity for us, to look at things very, very well, especially issues concerning divorce in our marriages. It's very, very important. We have a look at it. Because if you're going to have counseling centers and, Muslim family arbitration centers, it will help for some of these things, for Muslims to go through some of these, young Muslims to go through some of these, trainings, to understand that in the marriage in Islam, it's not just any word that can come out of your mouth. Same way in Islam, it's not just any form of word that you can say in Islam. Some things you say in Islam, one word, you are out. We won't come and pull you out. You have gone through the window. Same way in marriages, there are some statements that if you make, you have killed your marriage. Is it okay for an individual to say, I'm not getting married because I have not yet found a spouse of my desire? Yes, you marry people that you want. You marry a spouse that you desire. You cannot get up into a marriage that you don't like the person. No. So it's better you get someone that you desire, someone you love, someone you're okay with. There is nothing traumatic like waking up in the morning and the first face you see is someone you hate. There's nothing traumatic like that. So, yes. But then, your desire too should conform with the Sharia. Not just anybody you desire. You desire someone who, because the Prophet ﷺ said, إِذَا جَاءَكُمْ مَنْ تَرْضَوْنَ دِينَهُ وَخُلُقَهُ فَزَوِّجُوهُ. If anybody comes and then you are satisfied with his piety and then satisfied with his character, then give him a wife to marry. Give him a wife to marry. So if you say your desire, it should be in tandem with the Sharia. Islam allows for you to choose. Me, I want a tall woman with tall nose and hair behind her. Islam allows for that. It is your choice. Because it is an inherent thing in human beings. We have our desires. Someone will say, me, I like a short man with a big belly. That is her desire. Let her marry him. So long as he is pious, he has good character, no problem. So, desire here is secondary to issues of, character and religiosity. Someone might be a good man. He prays 5 times regularly. He has, nafila that he does. He fasts optional fasting. He is very good, but his character stinks. We have people like that. We have people who are not religious. He doesn't pray regularly. But then he has a good character. It happens like that. So what is best is join the two. Join the two. Someone with good character and good deen. If you get that person now, for example, if you have 4 men who have come to look for a hand in marriage, they are all good character, pious, like this. Now you come and check. Oh, I want a man who is well built with biceps. That's what kicks for her. She's accepted. It's accepted in Islam. Or within the 4 guys who came, good character, but then this guy, he is well to do, he has dough. She wants that. It is accepted. It's allowed. Because you know very well, there's a hadith of the Prophet Muhammad where a woman came and she said, Ya Rasulullah, some men have come to ask my hand in marriage. They are so and so and so. So the Prophet told her, you see this guy? He's a good guy, but he's poor. He doesn't have anything. He can't take care of you. And this guy, He beats women. The rap. He beats women. So the Prophet ﷺ gave her options. But later he advised her who he wanted her to marry. So you can have that. But then the problem that we are facing today is that we are only thinking of our desires and not what Islam has stipulated. That is why we are struggling in our marriages. I'm thinking of money. I'm thinking of educational qualification. I'm thinking of beauty. I'm thinking of someone who comes from a big home. I'm thinking of that. And then we don't think about the religion and the person's character. So we end up marrying wrong people. So after 2, 3 months, 6 months in the marriage, we realize that no, this is not going to happen. That is why our divorce rates are high. That's it. Because we marry for the wrong reasons. Some people want to marry because for sexual gratification. So after having sex for 3 months, he is satisfied. He is no longer interested in it. He wants a new flower to land upon to suck the pollens. So he creates unnecessary tension in the house. And that is what is causing us a lot of problems. So, yes, let's study our religion. I always say this. It's very important we study our religion. It's very, very, very important. Muslims should study their religion. Muslims, let's study our religion. You see Islamic law? You see this book? Fiqh al-Islam wa adillatuhu. It's a book about fiqh, about the rules and regulations in Islam and laws. Fiqh. This is volume 8. And do you know what this volume 8 consists of? I want to show you what this volume consists of. You see this portion? Half of this volume is only about table of contents. The book is in 8 volumes. And half of one volume, the last volume, volume 8, half of it is talking about table of contents. You see? This is the book. Half of this book, this session, is only talking about table of contents of the whole book. So if you have a book, 460 to 760, 300 pages. 300 pages alone talks about table of content of a book. 300 pages. The 300 pages is not talking about al-wala or siyam. No. The 300 pages is talking about table of contents. So our religion is a religion of knowledge. It's a religion of research. It's a religion of understanding. You need to be educated. If you want to be an upright Muslim, you need to read and be educated. You don't do things out of your head and knock your head and do things anyhow you want. Especially with issues concerning marriage. Whole chapters are written on marriage. Whole books are written on marriage in Islam. Because it is an essential social medium. And Islam recognizes it. So please, finally, we just want to call the attention of, the drafters of the bill that in Islam it's not only talaq, it is also khulu, it is also faskhun nikah. So if they talk about the units, the counseling units, and then the family arbitration center, they should empower them to also be able to enter into cases that they will be able to forward them to, our courts, and then the courts would dissolve some marriages. Yes, because some marriages need to be dissolved because of what some of the spouses are going through, whether males or females. Some marriages must be dissolved because it is a threat to the life of some of the people living in those marriages. So they should have a look at it. There is the other session concerning succession, that is distributing of wealth. I want to say this again. Yesterday, I talked about, the marriage contract where they inserted a clause where if a Muslim dies intestate, a Muslim dies without making a will, then, or the Muslim can choose, for example, for, the conventional law to be used to distribute his estate. Intestacy is alien to Islam. Islam doesn't know something like, okay, when someone dies without making a will, what happens? No, Islam doesn't know that. Because when you say you're a Muslim, every part of Islamic law applies to you. So you can't say, I'm alive, I will do Islamic law, but when I die, you can give me this other law. So that Article 10, I think 2J, yes, Section 10 2J of that bill is alien to Islam. They should take it out. They should take it out. Islam doesn't know that. It's the same too here in the divorce. They should also take that out. Islam doesn't know that. When the person dies, it is Islamic law that is going to use to distribute the person. So long as he has chosen this Muslim bill, so long as you want us to assent to this bill, you can't tell us whether we can choose which part of Islamic law to work with or not to work with. No, it's not accepted. So long as the person is coming to ask the imams for us to officiate his marriage and then sign and then agree and then testify to the fact that this guy is married with Islamic law, you cannot tell us that the person has a right to choose whether he wants Islamic law to be distributed, to be used to distribute his wealth or not. No. So long as he has agreed that he is coming to us for us to sign, we cannot sign on a document that says the person is free to choose us for us to officiate his wedding, but then when it comes to distributing his wealth, he's going to do it the way he wants. No, we cannot do that. So they should check that section very, very well. The section 10 2J, the marriage contract, the last sentence there concerning, marriages, the marriage contract, whether the person wants Islamic law to be applicable in there. So this is just a wake-up call to all of us, to the necessary stakeholders. And let me repeat, it is an opportunity that Almighty Allah has granted us Muslims in Ghana. Yes. If we are able to put our hands on deck for this bill and work towards its, existence, then it will help us in some ways, in some aspects too. The discrimination against us, those who are doing it will have a second thought. Yes, we'll have a second thought. So I think it's another opportunity that Almighty Allah has given us. It is not the work of one or two people, it's the work of all of us. It's the work of all of us. So let's have a second look at it. I think this is what I have for you concerning this bill. Alhamdulillah. Thank you very much for listening to us. If you have any questions, we will entertain them for about 5 minutes and then we call it a day, inshallah. So if you have any questions, we entertain it for about 5 minutes and then call it a day. So in Islam, the man has talaq, the woman has khulu, and then the community has faskhul nikah. If a woman is living an abusive marriage or the man is living an abusive marriage, he's afraid of his wife, he cannot issue talaq because he's afraid of her, he's under abuse, then the community can step in and then the judge will interfere and then dissolve the marriage. Or if a woman is living in a marriage, she's afraid, she cannot, leave the marriage because of one or two reasons, she doesn't know her rights, the man is abusing her, the community can interfere in that marriage and then, dissolve the marriage. But then just like that, a man wants to divorce his wife for no other reason. Yes, even though Islam accepts that, but then it's disliked. It's disliked. It's disliked. So divorce is a big institution in Islam. Islam recognizes it. Islam has rules and regulations governing divorce. You don't just get up and do it the way you want. You must follow the right proceedings. So it's very, very important that as time to time, people are being, educated upon that. And I like the idea of, the counseling unit. People need to be counseled on Islam, on marriages, on divorce. It's very important because sometimes young women will call you concerning the kind of abuse that they go through with their husbands. And then you realize that the marriage is not existent. He has come to get married to her, sweet talk to her, nice, sweet things. The parents have allowed the marriage. The girl is doing God. She's Allah. She's anxious to go to the marriage. She's gone into the marriage, and then the guy has already changed. No, Ibn Abbas, the bill has not been passed. It has been brought out into public domain. So we are having our say on it. And we hope the big offices, the Muslim offices in Ghana will listen and then make the necessary changes to it. Because some parts of the bill are not Islamic. Yes, because Islam doesn't recognize intestacy. When someone dies without a will, Islam doesn't recognize that. If you die without a will, already Islam has made provisions for how to distribute your wealth. So in Islam, you cannot write in your will that, okay, I'm dead, so I'm going to die, so if I die, and so, you're going to distribute your will the way you want. No, Islam doesn't recognize that. And it is stated in the bill. And then there are some issues in the bill that have not been included. For example, al-khulu is not stated there. Can a woman, seek for divorce? They've not stated it there. And then what about faskhun nikah? If the community realizes that the woman is an abusive marriage, she doesn't know her rights in the marriage, or she's afraid to be stigmatized, or she's scared of the husband, she cannot come out and tell the world what is going on, what happens, can the community come in and then dissolve the marriage? So these are some of the things that they have to look at. And then issues concerning the licensing of the masajid, licensing of the imams who are going to, officiate the marriages. How is the licensing going to be? They've shown us, some criteria, but it's also a wake-up call for us Muslims to look at the education that we're giving ourselves. It's very, very important. My uncle, some few days ago, called me concerning, education, and I believe we must start from scratch. Yes, we have Islamic schools. I think we must support them. We must, put our shoulders to a wheel, all of us, we must do that. If you want our communities to be better, what is dominating the world now is education. That's it. And we are fortunate. Our religion tells us اقرأ باسم ربك الذي خلق. But then نحن صرنا أمة لا تقرأ. وهذه هي المشكلة. He said, Sheikh, I said my last question, but for sure this is my last. Now, is it better to stay single with a peaceful mind, or rather get married with lots of challenges and complaints, kids running around anyhow? I know your view doesn't matter, but I want to hear from you, Sheikh. Yes, first of all, my view doesn't matter. It's what Islam says. The issue is, there is no life without any challenges. So if people feel not marrying will let them be free from challenges or some challenges. No, it's not like that. If it's about, challenges and complaints and then kids running around, that's what marriage is all about. That's what marriage is all about. Challenges and complaints. Yes, you pay bills, you take care of things, you pay school fees, you pay feeding fee, you pay light bill, you pay water bill, you pay health insurance, you pay, yes, the kids will come in, you buy diapers, they will run around you, you want to sleep in the afternoon, they'll be shouting and jumping. That's what marriage is. That's it. So if you want to choose a life of solitary confinement, that's up to you. But then make sure that you staying single will not lead you into committing adultery and fornication. So there's a difference of opinion between scholars concerning marriage in Islam. Is it compulsory, dole that you must get married? So it differs. There's what they finally agree upon is that marriage is haram for him. There are some people, marriage is haram for them. Because when they get married, they abuse the woman. So if you marry a woman to abuse her, some scholars are saying marriage is haram for you. There are some people, marriage is dole, it is wajib, it is compulsory upon them. Because they run around fornicating anyhow. So for them, to protect their reputation and dignity, Islam has made marriage compulsory upon them. So it depends on the situations and the conditions. It depends on, and same way with divorce. Because if you read Fiqh al-Islam wa Adillatuhu by Dr. Wahbat al-Zuhaili, in the 7th chapter on divorce, or the 7th volume on divorce, and yes, he talked about the scholars saying that sometimes divorce is wajib, is compulsory. Sometimes divorce is haram. In some conditions, it's haram. Sometimes it's makruh, sometimes it's mustahab. And I cannot, give you the detailed, explanation on that because it's very long. Because he brings the views of the Malikis, the Shafi'is, the Hanbalis, and then the Hanafis. He brings them in all, issues that he discusses. So, Brother Salim, I would rather urge you to get married. Because the benefits of getting married to a good spouse is better than staying single. And the effects of staying single and not getting married, we all know it. So it's better you get married and then enjoy these challenges and complaints and the kids running around. Enjoy it. It's very, very nice. I wake up in the morning and then my daughter's hand is on my face. I'm sleeping and then my son is playing. And then he wakes me up. And then we chat and chat and chat and chat with him. I'm saying things, I don't know if he understands or not. He's saying things me, I know definitely I don't understand. He's just giving me sounds. I've been away from my family for 3 months and I miss them. I call home, my daughter is speaking gibberish to me. How are you? I am here. Then we do video call and then she turns the phone upside down and stuff like that. It's beautiful. It's beautiful to have a beautiful family. Protect them, take care of them, love them, be closer to them. It's beautiful, it's nice. It's nice to have a spouse in your life, a husband or a wife. You will disagree, but after you disagree, you find each other nice, simple. You hug each other, you cuddle each other, you listen to each other's breath, and then you apologize and then you forgive each other, and then life returns back to normal. That's what life is all about. Especially when you are married. For those of you who are not married, I don't know. You don't know what you're missing. But may the Almighty Allah send you wonderful spouses. But then, let me make this statement. Finally, if you're living in an abusive marriage, please, 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 don't kill yourself in there. Because Islam has made ways for you where you can straighten things and live. If your husband is fond of killing you, please don't say because of the children you stay there and die. No, don't do that. And you who is abusing the sisters, you have a wife, all you know how to do is abuse her. If you no longer love her, divorce her, let her go back to her parents' house because they love her. A divorced daughter or a sister is better than a dead one. So parents, if your daughter comes home from an abusive marriage, don't look at your self-esteem. How is it that our daughter has gone to a marriage that she's divorced? Go back there. Listen to what she has. She knows what she's going through in that marriage. She knows what kind of problems she's facing. So please, stop abusing women. Stop beating them. Stop insulting them. Women, you are also equally guilty in that. Yes. Today, I'm bashing the men. But you are also equally guilty because most of these issues that come out are as a result, the fault of men. But then, women, they can't beat their husbands. But then their tongues, subhanallah. Car check. You will check. Some women, you find her outside, very, very humble, nice looking. Her head is on. Wa alaikum assalam. Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah. But then when she comes home, her husband himself, he knows what's up. One sentence from her will send him into coma. So we are all equally, to be blamed. We are all at fault. So let's all work towards making our marriages, good. It's good. Let's try to make it better. That's all. Thank you very much for listening to us. Until we meet you another time with, something interesting again. Thank you very much for your time. Jazakumullah khairan. Barakallah fikum. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.